G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because, my goodness, the Argentinians has done it. 38 points to 30 over the mighty All Blacks in New Zealand. This was the biggest game so far in the coaching career of Filippo Contempomi. And last couple games against France B team, I thought Argentinians looked quite clunky. They did have a few players that was resting, but I really did not expect them to improve so much over the last few weeks and came into this game with a clear plan, with some clear sneaky moves that they've planned for the All Blacks because they studied the way the All Blacks like to defend and really managed the game exactly the way they wanted, without panic, play into their style, play with speed, play with fluidity, and really match the All Blacks in the style that the All Blacks like to play, and walked out the winners. 38 points to 30. With guts, with determination. They had penalties offered to them early in the game. They did not take it. And that is something that I talk about all year when it comes to Super Rugby. The team that try to take easy penalties ends up losing the game. And unfortunately, unlike the All Blacks of old, this All Blacks team, whether it be because of the influence of the media from New Zealand, has opted for the soft option. And they wanted the easy way out, and they found it with a loss. And Argentina was happy to push, was happy to go for the tough route, and they won it. The team that decided to not just go for 3 points every time, they decided to push for an opportunity, and they found that. And they found the 38 points over 30, the biggest score against the All Blacks ever. The previous was only 25 points. How far Argentina has come along, I am just absolutely amazed. And this was considering how Argentina got flopped by the All Blacks last year at the Rugby World Cup, one of the worst performances I've ever seen in a quarterfinal, in a semi-final, to come out and win against the All Black at home. That is incredible. And this is without Michael Cheika, the genius coach that kind of masterminded this massive kind of resurgence. Filippo Contempomi has taken what Michael Cheika has done and taken it to a whole new level. I mean, it's just... The game, before the game even started, you can tell the Argentinians were here to play. They were charging into the kickoff. They were like, everybody in the players were lining up 10 meters behind the halfway line, charging in as the ball was kicked out. Just to show their intention to win this game. And, you know, there was one point where I did feel like, again, this is just New Zealand media talking a lot of shit. And I really wish that the coaches would stop listening to the media. Because the media, again, the entire media was like, wow, this game had no scrum for the entire first half for like 50 minutes. Like it's a positive. When the All Blacks absolutely destroy the Argentinian scrum at the Rugby World Cup, when Ethan de Groot and Tyrell Lomax destroyed Garjo, and in fact, Garjo was struggling against France just a few weeks ago against the French B side. And for the Argentinians to go out for the entire first half without a scrum is a catastrophic failure to the All Blacks design, to the All Blacks game plan. It's a loss to the All Blacks. It's stupidity in the All Blacks' part to not take a scrum. In the key area that they clearly had an advantage, it was completely by design for the Argentinians to not have a scrum when they knew Garjo is one of the best ball runners and one of the worst scrummagers in the entire world of like front rowers of rugby. And it played exactly into their hands to not have any scrums. Literally, as soon as the best scrummagers possible in the world, Ethan de Groot and Tyrell Lomax got off the field, there's the first scrum. And guess what? Garjo was still on the field. The number one loose air prop from Argentina. And he almost lost the first scrum. When the reserve props came on for the Argentina, the scrum was even again. In fact, had a little bit of dominance. They used a little bit, the baiting when in the engagement. Just pull back a little bit, get you to overextend. They did that a couple of times. Got the penalties, got the short arms they needed. And that's all they wanted. That's, again, a game plan that they had planned ahead of time. They're going to use this a couple times to try to see if the referee going to bite. And Angus Garner took the bite. That's exactly what they had planned. Lineouts as well. The All Blacks lineout is just like, you can see it. They're just YOLOing. Like, second half especially, and the pressure came on. Overthrows, losing their own lineout throws in critical times. The Argentinians had planned a specific lineout move to exploit the All Blacks, right? They did a fake jump and just threw a ball straight to a player in front without jumping and set up a more on that player and immediately give it a try because they knew they started the All Blacks that they like to set up preemptively, not contest the jump, and then just try to like jam on your ball receiver as soon as you land. They just faked the jump, threw the ball straight to the guy in front without jumping, ran straight in for the maul. Like the maul just ran straight through. Again, planning. Something that the Argentinians planned meticulously for this. And the All Blacks did not do any of that. And the biggest crime of them all, I already talked about this, the All Blacks wanted an easy way out. There was a point about halfway when the All Blacks clearly had the ascendancy. They clearly, the second try, the third try they scored, when Mark Talea went in, 51 minutes. The All Blacks was just, look, unstoppable. This period here, every time the All Blacks carried the ball, they got over the advantage, and the Argentinians were in a low, All Blacks are riding on a high. If they just kept the pressure on, they would have got more tries. They would have easily walked out of this game with a win. But you know what they did? They went for the penalties. They went for the goal kicks. They got D-Mac, who's such a great goal kicker, to milk the three. And all that momentum, they pulled away their own momentum. And Argentina's like, thank God. We needed some time to regather ourselves after getting slaughtered, 15 phases into a try with no response. We need you to slow the damn game down a little bit. And thank you for taking the 3 points from 40 meters out whilst we take a breather and regather ourselves. And it's just that. You wanted an easy way out, you found it. You found your way out with a loss. It's rugby. You can't just think that you can win against the opponent, a tier 1 nation, by just milking penalties. And I don't know what else to say. I thought, especially when Anton Lennon-Brown was on the field, looked a lot better than Rieko Ioane. I thought Damien McKenzie, again, looked way more comfortable with Beauden Barrett on the field. When Will Jordan came on, Damien McKenzie looked lost, to be honest. And Will Jordan came on quite early. And, yeah. I was just really disappointed. Because this team, in the first half, looked a lot better than the team that played England from the All Blacks. And they were just completely outgunned by better planning, by better strategy, by better intent. Mentally, they lost to Argentina. And that is something that I have to give 100% credit to the coaching staff of Argentina, to the players, to the attitude they brought into this game. That was world class. That was something that I was very disappointed in the Argentina in the Rugby World Cup. And they showed their fans that they respect their fans, that they respect their nation, they respect the pride of their jersey, and they put on this performance to redeem themselves. That was really, really well done. And I cannot say much more about how amazing this result is for Argentina. This is the best result they've ever achieved against the All Blacks. And it's not just kicking goals because the All Blacks was just giving away silly penalties. They actually played better rugby, with better intent, with tougher mental attitude, better planning. In every aspect of the game, they did better. And they won it. Really well done. So let's go through the match stats. 3 tries to 4. More run meters for Argentina. 395 to All Blacks 295. I actually... It's yeah. Usually the All Blacks lose, they still have more run meters. They have fewer run meters. That tells you the mental attitude right there. 127 carries, 103 carries for the Argentinians. 21 defenders spin, so the All Blacks definitely had more firepower, but they didn't want to use it. Right? 8 turnovers conceded. Again, better discipline. 12 turnovers conceded against Argentina. Didn't want to use that. 137 tackles made 15 missed tackles. 157 tackles made 20 missed tackles. Pretty good for both teams. Kicks in play. Nothing too crazy from both sides. Second half, so once they started trying to milk penalties for the All Blacks, they were pretty happy to just kick the ball down the field, just to ping the Argentinians in their own half. What's his name? Damien McKenzie was just putting through these like low trajectory kicks into the 22, trying to get the 50-22. Whilst yes, it's great strategy, but it's really not giving you much of an advantage kicking the ball away like that. Again, I think at that point, Beauden Barry might have come off the field. So again, Damien McKenzie is kind of left to figure out what to do. And on paper, that might sound like a good idea, but when you have the ascendancy, you're just giving the opportunity for to relieve pressure for the opposition, right? There was one penalty miss right in front of myself of Damien McKenzie. Again, high pressure situations, really shouldn't miss that. There was one missed kick by Carreras, pretty easy kick as well, right at the start of the game, and then he just got into the groove without. There was an attempt to drop goal with a penalty advantage by Argentina, so really nothing special there. Kicking meters pretty close. Rocks 4 loss for All Blacks, 3 to Argentina. Fewer percentage-wise. Lineouts, both teams were a little bit struggling a little bit, but the All Blacks really crucially missed 2 lineouts late in the second half, where they really needed to exit. They win the penalty, they get the lineout, and then loses their own opportunity. Again, this is not a good stat for the All Blacks. 0 scrums. This should be way above 0 when they overwhelmingly had a dominance. Should have the dominance, especially over Gaggio, the number 1, the loser prop in the first half. Yeah, really disappointing to see that stupidity. 12 penalties conceded for the All Blacks, 13 against Argentina. Nothing too special there between two sides. And yeah, let's quickly recap on the game. So, yeah, the All Blacks had good dominance early in the game in the first half. Like I said, the new locks looking very, very good. Darry and Tupuvai actually look better than Scotty Barrett and Tuipulotu. Them both look Tuipulotu, is it? Yeah, I think Tuipulotu, yeah. And yeah, it's it looks a lot better with the two guys jumping, to be honest. So 12 minutes into the game, there was repeated penalties, and All Blacks kicked their first point. Argentina did not go for the penalties. They did not go for the penalties when they immediately. So this already tells me where the mental attitude is at of the All Blacks. So yeah, so Argentina had a penalty before this. They went for the line out. They didn't get any points, but they showed them the difference in mental attitude already at this point. 14 minutes into the game, there was a quick turnover for the All Blacks. A nice kick over the top. D-Mac recovered himself. Again, he looked way more confident in doing this sort of stuff when Beauden Barrett's on the field. When Beauden Barrett's off the field, Dave McKenzie is just like, oh my god, let's go to the safest and the most predictable option that he can think of. So yeah, really loses that. Yeah, anyway, he kicks over, recovered the ball, linked up with Beauden. Beauden kicked the ball through. Darryl got the awkward bounce and dunked the ball in. 10 points to nil for the All Blacks. 22 minutes into the game, there was a turnover for the Argentinians. Pablo Matera got the ball, just ran like sideways, and then just threw a nice, beautiful flat pass to Choco Barrios, ran through a gap, and then a nice little pass to Cinti with the fullback swooping in. Try time for Argentina, 10 points to 5. 26 minutes of the game, there was hands on the ground against Pablo Matera. New Zealand kicks another 3 points, 13 points to 5. 30 minutes into the game, Argentina had an opportunity for 3 points. They didn't go for it. Again, shows the mental difference. They went for the line out. They went for the maul. I got another penalty right in front of the goalpost. And they're like, okay, fair enough. We're not going to break through immediately. Let's take the 3. 13 points today for Argentina. And the 34 minutes into the game, the All Blacks has an opportunity for a penalty. They went for the line out. They went for the drive. And then they build a pressure. And eventually the ball went out to D-Mac. Flat pass to Anton Lennon-Brown. Spun. Went in, try. Really looked so easy. 20 points to 8. Just before halftime, Again, this was a bit of almost a freebie. There was a high ball from All Blacks. Again, silly kick. High ball from All Blacks. Silver Reese went up to knock the ball back, and then it awkwardly bounced for Mateo Carreras. Yeah, and it bolts down the field with D-Mac coming up, tackled him. Just completely juked D-Mac for the try. 20 points to 15. Argentina going in at halftime. 5 points behind. 2 minutes in the second half. Again, Argentina showing they wanted to play. They had this move planned. They had a line out. They went for the penalty. They went for the line out, and they did the dummy jump, and the ball went straight in front, and they didn't actually to the pod in front. Didn't even jump, and they just set up the ball right away, and then just completely sprinted in for the try. 20 points to 22, Argentina, and just 45 minutes into the game, the All Blacks gets an opportunity. Guess what they do? Kick him for 3. Yeah, showing that they have no confidence in themselves. I mean, there's still 30 minutes left in the game right now. What's 3 points gonna do with 30 minutes? What's 1 point lead gonna do for you? Right? Kick this one, 23 points to 21, 1 point lead, 1 point lead. At this point, the commentary is celebrating that there hasn't been a scrum yet. And despite that, it's just stupid. Anyway, 48 minutes into the game, a penalty to Argentina. They're like, okay, we're gonna take 3 points as well. 23 points to 25, pulled themselves back 2 points in front. And then this is where he's starting to realize that the All Blacks has the momentum ascendancy. Anton Leonard-Brown was breaking through tackles. Eventually, 51 minutes of the game, the All Blacks were building really fast ball around the breakdown. Cordes Ratama, I think, was on the field at this point, on the point. And then just some nice crash ball, got really close. And then eventually, a short ball to Mark Talea, just running straight into the 10 channel, straight through. 30 points to 25, looking really, really good for the All Blacks. D-Mac gets his kick. 30 points to 25. 54 minutes into the game, Dalton Babalia gets penalty for not rolling. Argentina kicking another 3. 30 points to 28. 57 minutes of the game, Ratama milks a penalty, stumbling over a player on the ground. And D-Mac misses this one. 30 points to 28. Still. And the 59 minutes in the game, Ethan de Groot and Tara Lomax came off the field. As soon as they came off, there was a scrum. Gargia was struggling. Literally struggling. And Ofa Tuamafasi was on the right hand, on the tight hand side, was just hugely destroying the scrum, essentially. Didn't quite get a penalty, but 62 minutes, there was a forward pass to Will Jordan. No try for the All Blacks. 67 minutes into the game. So this was silly. There was a line out from the Argentinians that was stolen by the All Blacks. So looking really good. And the ball was just like randomly tossed back and nobody. And D-Mac ran up to scoop up the ball and quickly tried to throw the ball back to Rico Ioane. And he completely misjudged the throw. And the ball just, again, went to nobody, rolled back in front of the goal line. Rico scooped it up and got tackled in goal. So All Blacks lost 50 meters with their own absolute stupid passing. That's so bad. This was the worst I've ever seen from the All Blacks. So now there's a 5-meter scrum for this Argentina. They actually dominate this scrum, gets forward momentum. There was a crash ball from the number 8, and then picking eventually Augustin Creevy, the guy who knows how to score tries against the All Blacks, bumps in for the try. 30 points to 35. And at this point, it's just a matter of controlling the game. All Blacks, again, just instead of like playing the game, the All Blacks are kind of like trying to tighten the game up, whereas the Argentina was really adventurous, trying to build the game. A lot of fluidity. Adi Savia got some turnover for the All Blacks, and the All Blacks only to throw away the line out, to get turnover by the Argentinians twice. Finally, 78 minutes into the game, there was a what do you call it? What happened here? Yeah, so 78 minutes of the game, the Argentinians were building inside of the All Blacks, just outside the All Blacks 22. There was a penalty against Wallace Atiti for not releasing. Yeah, just lack of experience, I think. And penalty right in front. What's his name? Carrera slips and still kicks this one through. 30 points to 38. And All Blacks try to pull themselves out. Argentina was just controlling the game, run the clock down. And finally, the ball rolled out of the rack. One of the All Blacks players jumped onto it. You're not allowed to dive onto the ball that's coming out of the rack, emerging out of the rack for a meter. You can't dive onto it because it just kills the ball essentially creates another ruck immediately next to another ruck. So they're not allowed to do that. So the All Blacks play off. It's understandable. Like, he jumped onto the ball as soon as he popped out. Not allowed. Penalty. And Argentina won the game. Yeah. Test rugby is a different animal. You can't just walk into the game and expect your players to do what you normally do and win a test match, especially a big one like this. If your opposition had planned, certain moves, had planned certain strategies, and you're not expecting it, you don't prepare something special for yourself, this is what's gonna happen. This is a difference between preparation. This is difference between I think this is probably mostly the difference between preparation. The mental factor is because of preparation. If you're not prepared, right, you were expecting an easy game, you didn't have a solid game plan that's gonna like secure you a little bit of an edge on the field, like having a set line-out move that's gonna guarantee maybe a try for you. This is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go for the one option that it's gonna yield your points, which is the goal kick, and you're gonna end up losing the game. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm completely wrong about this. I thought New Zealand was gonna dominate. And thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. And see you guys later. Have a good one. Cheers.